What's good, homies and homies? Today we have another episode of Ask Beastmode, and we got a special guest, my good friend and first male pump chasers athlete, Jerron Mosley. And make sure you follow me on Instagram. Tell your Instagram.
Hey everybody, follow me on Instagram at Jerron Fit. I post training videos and everything, so just check me out and hope you enjoy everything.
Real intense training partner, but most of all, great trainer. Like myself, I'm a personal trainer, and it's very refreshing to have somebody alongside of me who's a trainer as well. Nobody knows the hustle of being a trainer. You literally don't work, you literally don't eat in this business. Which is why I'm all about grinding. You don't work, you do not eat in training. There is no months off and shit like that. There is no vacation pay. You have to work for every dollar you get as a trainer. That's why I respect them. So, first and foremost, you already know the rules. We're gonna have the guest, no disrespectful comments to anybody in the video, or you will be blocked. Secondly, you like the shirt, go to pumpchasers.com and get your 30 other bitches. So here we go. First person.
What's going on, Beast Mode? This is JP in North Carolina. I'm sitting outside the gym. I'm actually about to go get it in right now. I'm letting this pre-workout kick in. But I had two questions for you, man. My first question is, how frequently can you hit calves? I be hearing shit like you can hit calves every day. I don't know if that's true, but I know it is a stubborn muscle, and I've been working them out twice a week along with my legs, my quads and my hams, but they seem to lag compared to my quads and my hams and my calves. They smaller. It don't look like they connect. So I was wondering, how frequently can you work that muscle? Cause I do want them calves. That's gonna make them girls throw that ass. But another question I had was about the clothing line. That shit hot. Pump Chasers, the name, everything hot. I want to actually go get me a shirt today. The black and gold, man, that black and gold shit is tough. I went to go get one, but your shit sold out. But I was wondering, like, I know how you sponsored by Gymshark, and I was wondering, are you gonna do sponsorship for your own clothing line? Cause I love to be sponsored by that. Being out here representing for the pump chasers and all the pump chasers out there. But yeah, that's about it. That's my two questions, man. I appreciate if you answer it. I'll be looking out. I mean, I already be watching a YouTube video you put out, so if it is, I won't miss it. But God bless, brother.
All right, brother. First and foremost, thank you for sending your video. He asked, calf frequency. He's having trouble bringing up his calves. He's been hearing people tell him calves every day, 3 times a week, 2 times a week. What do we feel is the best frequency for bringing up calves? What do you think, Jerron?
Like I said before, I think calves are like any other muscle group. It depends on the person and the training style. Some people can benefit from training calves twice a week. Some people can do it 5-6 times a week. It really just depends on the individual, honestly. Personally, when I want my calves to grow, I find that training them more frequently makes them develop.
Yeah.
So that's how it works for me.
I feel like if you can work any muscle every day, any muscle at all every day, you ain't training hard enough. There's no way I can go to the gym and squat to the max and leg press to the max every single day. You know, it just wouldn't happen. Now, if I was half-assing, doing maybe 2 or 3 sets, nowhere near failure, I could squat every damn day. So I'm gonna have to say, I don't think training any muscle every day, not even abs, is a good idea. Muscles need time to be banged, and muscles need time to be rested. So I would say no more than 3 times a week. You know, you might want to experiment with your volume. If you're only doing like 3 sets of standing raises and 3 sets of sitting raises, you may need to change that up. If you're only doing 10 rep sets, you may want to try 15 reps. Because I've been seeing a lot of people say they feel the burn and the pump and the exhaustion really helps those calves grow. And I really think that's possible because you're always walking them all the time. And I think that since you walk on them all the time, they're always being contracted, and low reps may not work for calves. You know, you might need to experiment with your training. And then you gotta keep in mind genetics. Some people genetically just gifted. I see people all the hey, how many of y'all ever seen like a fat guy with some humongous calves? So keep in mind genetics play a role in this thing. And keep in mind too, I wish you would have showed me your calves. Some people got real high calf insertions. They'd be like, oh, I don't have much, my calves just won't grow. Well, they might grow, but you might just have really, really high insertions, and you might not even notice that they have grown because your insertions are so high and you can't really tell. So keep in mind, genetics play a point in this, and you gotta experiment with your training. What I've noticed that works best for me is hitting them 3 times a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, or Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays before I even start my workout. Just go ahead and bang out 10 sets of standing raises, about 12 to 15 reps 3 times a week, and that usually helps me out. And I like to experiment with my feet placing things. Like maybe on my Wednesday, I have my feet like this. On my Monday, on Monday, I might do my feet like this. You know what I mean? My heels close. And then on Wednesday, toes straight. And then on Friday, heels out. You know what I mean? And I'll do 10 sets of that Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That works for me. You gotta still works for you though. And second question, he wants to know about being part of the Swole crew, the Pump Chasers crew. Good question, because I'm getting emails all the time. Keep in mind, guys, my brand is new. We haven't even really officially launched the shirts yet. This is the first shirt we've sold. And it's doing well, by the way. Thank you guys for buying it. So keep in mind, I will start sponsoring people. Obviously, that's a good idea because having athletes, they're gonna push my brand and quite frankly, make me some money. So I want some athletes, but I don't even have my women's line out. So give me some time to get the store popping, get more items, and then I'm gonna definitely bring more people in. The purpose of having athletes is to help sell your shit. You know what I mean? But I don't have a lot of shit to sell. I have maybe 4 shirts, 4 tanks. That's nothing. I need at least fucking 30 items in my store to really have a successful brand. So give me time to build the brand, and of course, I'll be looking for athletes. And for the record, you don't have to be some crazy Greek God-built motherfucker to be part of my team, but you do have to like you fucking lift. If you wear the Pump Chaser shirt and you're saying you're part of my team, you at least need to like you fucking work out. Now, you ain't gotta have 18, 19-inch arms or nothing like that, like a fucking superhero, but you do need to look pretty decent, you know what I mean? Let's keep shit 100, you know what I mean? But anyway, thanks again for sending your video, brother, and let's go on to the next person.
Yo, what up, Chris? It's your boy George, hollering at you from Florida, grinding every day, and I got 2 questions for you, my man. First question is, what's ideal for training in the morning? Fasted training, or should I try and have some carbs before I train? I was training later in the afternoon, but being that I'm a family man, I didn't have time to have dinner with my kids and my wife, so switch these up into the AM so I can get that out of the way. But I've noticed obviously that my lifts are a lot lesser because I don't have any energy in me. And then my second question is, when cutting, should I continue to do high volume? I'm a big high volume guy, much like yourself. So let me know, brother. And of course, I got to do a little pose down. So right there. I'm trying to lean out. So don't hate. Don't make fun of me. Classic Arnold pose. There you go. All right, brother. Holla back.
All right, my brother. First and foremost, thank you for sending your video. And fun fact, I actually tagged this guy in a Facebook picture months ago, at least 6 months ago, I believe. He posted a picture of him cooking dinner, watching one of my videos in the kitchen. So thank you for supporting me, man. I really appreciate your support. So let's get to the business here. His first question was, I can definitely relate to this. You know, you got a wife, you got kids. You know, you get off from work, you go to the gym, you get home, kids damn near getting tucked in. Wife's already on the couch, get ready to go to bed. You know, you gotta give family their quality time. Because at the end of the day, I'm assuming most people here don't make a living in fitness. Fitness is our hobby. It's our passion, but by no means it's making us a living. So you don't want to take too much from your personal life. So he finds it more, reasonable to go to the gym first thing in the morning. He wants to know, is it okay for him to train fasting? So what do you think?
Honestly, that's a very good question. It's one of my favorite questions to answer. I truly am a real big believer in fasted training, period. Have a tougher, tighter, leaner physique. And I found this out honestly by accident. Because I never liked to eat breakfast in the morning. My appetite never kicked in till like after 1 o'clock. So between 1 o'clock and maybe say 10 o'clock, I will basically eat all my calories and all my food. And people will always say, "Oh, well, that's not the thing to do. That's not the thing to do." But I sit here before you doing the same thing. I'm lean. I'm ripped. I mean, Chris will tell you, I'm pretty strong. You know, you're going to struggle in the beginning because it's something new. But your body will adapt. And trust me, unless you take a steroids or something like that, that's not that whole 2-hour window. Don't believe
so
that.
You tell them, so you were practically doing intermittent fasting in a sense before it was even popular.
Right, it was by accident. I just didn't have appetite in the morning.
Bodybuilders like Serge Nubret were doing the same thing.
And the thing to remember is, 9 times out of 10, if you're bodybuilding or into fitness, you're going to eat food before you go to bed. Right. So when you wake up in the morning, what do you think that food happened? Those nutrients are going to still be available to you to use for training. So don't be afraid, like I said, to just try something new, especially if what you're doing isn't currently working. And if you see people who are telling you that fasted training is okay, and they're sitting here, they got muscles, and I'm not saying muscles are the end all be all, but if a dude got a big chest, and I'm asking for questions about a big chest, I'm gonna probably listen to what he's saying and try it out.
Definitely, man. I've actually been reading up on a lot of these things. There's a lot of, that's why I'm so glad YouTube is around, and you got a lot of forums, and you got people doing studies, because it's definitely killing a lot of myths. There was always a myth that you have to have breakfast first thing in the morning to crank your metabolism and all this shit, and we find out that that's completely false. We also found out that you don't have to eat 100% quote-unquote clean foods to have a great body. You don't have to eat chicken and rice every fucking meal. Fruits don't turn into fat. You can't have sugar. A lot of these myths are killing off, and it's for the better, because a lot of these myths, before I was working out before YouTube. You weren't too. I was going to the gym before YouTube. All I had was magazines telling me to eat every 2 to 3 hours, and a whole bunch of, and I was doing that shit.
And you look like Phil Heath.
I was doing all that shit. I was going to the club, and you got people trying to sneak in and pocket knives, and I'm trying to sneak in protein bars in the club so I can go to the bathroom and eat, because every 2 to 3 hours I gotta eat. I'm so glad that we have these studies out here dispelling all this crap. I'm not a faster myself. I wake up and have a smoothie. But check this out. There's actually studies out there showing that fasting can actually increase insulin sensitivity. And increased insulin sensitivity can actually help fat burning in the long run. As you may or may not know, insulin goes into the muscles, it goes into the liver, but it also goes into fat cells. So if you have insulin sensitivity, a high level of high level of insulin sensitivity, it can really help you get rid of fat more easily. So, and it's good for your growth hormone. But people over exaggerate the growth hormone benefits. They make it seem like because you increase your natural GH, you're gonna be walking around super jacked. If that was the case, people wouldn't take steroids. They would just fast and get more GH. So, but it helps with your GH and testosterone. So don't be afraid of that at all. Just make sure if you want to gain weight, you're eating enough calories to grow. And if you want to lose weight, you're in a calorie deficit, but you're getting enough protein. Because you're not getting enough protein, you're not getting enough to maintain your muscles. There is a difference between losing weight and getting lean. So definitely, man, you're not doing anything wrong. I really commend you for staying in this lifestyle and being a family man. Hopefully one day to be a family man too, And second question, he wanted to know high volume. When cutting, should he cut back on the high volume? What do you think about that?
Never. I'm extremely high volume. Find some other way. Cut some. Because don't change your training. I mean,
Yeah.
don't change your training. Honestly, I'm not a real big believer in switching up your diet too much. Whatever food you use to build muscle should be the same thing. You should be able to cut down just a little less of it.
Yeah.
So like I said, keep doing that high volume because you're going to have that nice, lean, tight physique.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, when you start to cut down, you may actually have to start to bump up your calories a little bit too. There is when I actually grow into my shows a little bit.
Yeah.
So like the week or two leading to my shows, I kind of start to eat, I guess you could say, dirty.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'm trying to fill out, but I also like to stay lean all year round.
Yeah, definitely.
So like I said, if you're cutting a bunch of body fat, then you have to be worried about what you're doing as far as that. But if you're pretty lean, high volume's the way to go. Make sure your calories, mostly I say carbohydrates and fats as well are up too.
Definitely, man.
Keeps you full and give you energy to train.
I'm surprised he even asked that question because if anybody watched POG for the past 3 years and you see my episodes, Return of Lean Jones and my day of eating episodes when I was cutting and I show my meals and my training, I never go from high volume down to hippie volume. It stays high. That's how I grew, and that's how you're gonna maintain your muscle. Like I said, there's a difference between losing weight and getting lean. And that's why I tell most of my clients it's all high volume. I'm not saying high volume is the only way to train, but this is how we fucking roll over here. You don't go to a fucking Taekwondo studio and tell them, hey, I heard Wing Chun is the best fighting style. No, you're in the fucking Taekwondo studio and you're not here to fucking learn Taekwondo. Get the fuck out. That's how I feel about high volume. If you're not interested in high volume, you want to do some 30-minute workouts, go fucking somewhere else. This is for people who ain't afraid of hard work and don't want any shortcuts. Because trust me, there's a reason why you leave your house and you ride around the street, you go to the park, you go to the beach, and everybody ain't looking good. Because everybody ain't putting in that kind of work. Yeah. This is some hard shit. Bodybuilding is one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life.
Yeah, it's not guaranteed.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's one of the few things that you can do a lot. The returns aren't necessarily guaranteed.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like Chris was saying, you could be limited by your genetic potential.
Yeah.
You can't be 200 pounds of muscle. You might have to be 160.
Everybody's not meant to be hella huge. That's why in MMA they have 5 weight classes.
Yeah.
Everybody's not meant to be super huge. You might not be super jacked, but everybody can be in shape. Everybody on the planet can be in shape. Just not everybody can be super fucking jacked. So that's just genetics. It is what it is. Don't trip though.
Like I said, I believe that too. I think everybody can have a nice body, a good physique, but you gotta be realistic.
Yeah.
I mean, if you try to be Mr. Olympia, come on now, that's not.
You gotta have the cream of the crop genetics.
Yeah, you got and other things, but
and other things.
You gotta be realistic, I thought when I was coming up, I was like, oh, I'll be the next Mr. Olympia, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then once I found out what would have to go into that, and I wasn't willing to go that route, I had to accept, what was going to be. Nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that at all, guys.
You can still turn necks.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Definitely, man.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Get those pecs. God damn it, Chris Jones. Those pecs will turn hoes necks, man. Do your curls for the girls, you'll be alright. That wide back, get them hoes in the sack, man. Well, anyway, man, thanks for your question. We talked way too long on this guy. Thanks for supporting me. Be sure to keep supporting me. Let's get to the next person.
What's up, Chris? My name is Philip. I'm 24 years old. I wanted to send a video today to see if you would critique my physique. I've been reverse dieting for about a month now, and just wanted to see what you think I should work on once I start this upcoming bulk. A little bit about me. I've been working out for about 5 years now. I'd say the first 2 or 3 were really a waste of time, but the past 2 years probably, my nutrition's been a lot better, been hitting it a lot harder. I feel like I know what I'm doing a lot more than I used to. I was overweight, when I was younger, so now here I am, lost weight, trying to build up now. So I want to see what you think I should work on as far as weak points go. I'll show you what I'm working with. Legs. like I said, about to start a book. I want to see what you think I should work on.
All right, my brother. First and foremost, thank you for sending me your video. He wants us to critique his physique. He just got done cutting, reverse dyeing a bit. He's about to get ready to get into that bulk and wants to know what can he put more attention on.
Well, first of all, I want to tell you, man, real good job on your cut.
Oh, yeah.
That was very impressive. Good definition, good leanness. Especially in your back. You have real good muscle definition, separation
definitely.
in your back. So with that being said, you know, just the constructive critique I would tell you would be to focus more on your chest, mainly the upper chest area, your delts, and probably add a little more size on the tricep as well, because you got real good looking biceps from what I've seen.
They were peaked too.
Yeah, and as far as your midsection look pretty lean and everything, and I'll give some more attention to the width of your back. You know, so when you look forward, pop up like that, you'll have a little more, and make that waist look a little more narrow, and create that illusion.
Yeah, right.
And for being a tall guy, man, you had really good legs, you know.
Yeah, definitely been a tall guy, man. See, all you tall guys making excuses, you shut the fuck up.
Right.
Do what this guy's doing.
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet my left nut. He's probably doing some good squatting, some volume in them legs. You're hitting them. Definitely, to sum up in the nutshell, V-taper. You know what I'm saying? You got great muscle development. If you took your shirt off and walked past me and I didn't know you, I could tell you work out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if we have to give you critique, I would have to say V-taper. Exactly what he just said. Upper chest, delt width, lat width, and a little bit of tricep. So work on your V-taper, man. Focus on your V-taper. Don't just go to the gym blindly working out. You need to, whatever split you're on, you need to tailor that towards your weak points, man. We need to come up with a series for V-taper. We should do a V-taper series. Because that's really important. Honestly, in bodybuilding, V-taper is more important than anything.
Yeah.
You know, it's not about having the most muscle. It's about that illusion. It's about that V-shaped body.
Everywhere you go, the V-taper is nice.
Yeah.
Women like it.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody likes that. I mean, so.
Tapered.
Absolutely.
V-taper, everything. So we're probably going to start up a series real soon and give us some good exercises that's going to bring up your V-taper. Maybe we can do a V-taper program. Sky's the limit, man. Y'all keep supporting. You know what I mean? We're going to do what we do for y'all. Y'all be sure to follow us on Instagram. Watch the videos. That motivates us to keep posting shit. Obviously, we don't want to spend hours editing and recording a V-taper series. Ain't nobody going to watch it. So y'all want to see a good V-taper series, which is the most important aspect of bodybuilding, comment below, like this video, share this video, and we'll get on that shit for y'all. Alright? So anyway, hope y'all enjoyed the show. Don't forget to follow me at Beastmode Jones and Pump Chasers on Instagram. Follow my boy on Instagram
at Jerron Fit.
At Jerron Fit. And don't forget, if you want to be on the next show, send your videos to askbeastmode@hotmail.com. As always, thank you for your support. Don't forget to like my shit, comment, subscribe. Holla back at your boy.